guys, what is going on? Blossom's back. Welcome back to another episode of Sam Drives and another episode of RQ10-100 where we look at the best car in every RQ for a certain requirement. Well, this time we're talking about track sets, and the track set that we're talking about today is going to be the wet fast circuit. As pointed out in my previous video on the slalom, there was a viewer named Mackenzie, and he had a fantastic suggestion. He said, go for fast circuit wet. There's going to be a diverse cast of winners, and he's absolutely right. Man, let's have a look at, the best cars between RQ10 to RQ100 for the fast circuit wet. Now, before I show you the answer sheet per se, let me show you how diverse the cast actually is, right? There's a huge mix, right? So, moving into car attributes, this is a wet fast circuit, okay? Emphasis on wet. But that being said, 69 cars are performance tires, 30 are standard, and there's even one all-surface tire car that is the best within its RQ for the wet fast circuit. So comment down below if you think you know which all-surface tire car that is, okay? Now, on top of that, all the winners, within their RQs, 13 of them are front-wheel drive, 48 of them are rear-wheel drive, 39 of them are four-wheel drive, so they're actually more rear-wheel drive winners than four-wheel drive winners on a wet fast circuit. There's 75 low ground clearance, 22 medium, 3 highs, and you can look at the rest of the stats over here. Another thing that I do want to show you, let's see which country has the most winners, right? Congratulations is in order for Germany. So they make the best fast circuit wet cars, I guess. 28 being represented, 22 from the US of A. We've got 13 in GB and Italy as well, 3 Japanese, so they do not make good fast circuit wet cars. I think we saw that coming. 2 South Korea, 5 from France, 4 Australians, 3 Swedish, and even 2 Chinese. That's interesting. Let's have a quick little sneak peek at this one, because I did not expect a single one. Oh yeah, those. Okay, yeah, the Buick EVs. Yes. Now let's look at manufacturers real quick. Which is the best manufacturer for the wet fast circuit? We got 2 Alphas, 1 Aston, 1 Automobili, 5 Audis, 4 Bentleys, 7 BMWs, 4 Bugattis. Alright, we have 2 Dodges. I remember one of them being a Challenger Scat Pack. I believe that's RQ59. We've got 3 Fords, 2 Hyundais, 3 Lotus, 10 Mercs! Okay, that's the biggest one that we've seen so far. Mercedes, man. They're not even the biggest brand here, but they got the most winners, so congratulations. Yeah, Mercedes is the brand for the wet fast circuit. 4 Porsches as well, 2 Remax. Okay, well there you go, even 3 Lotuses. I wish I did this for the previous episode, but I'm pretty sure it was either Ariel or Lotus that had the most winners, right, for the slalom. Yeah, what's the other dog? Oh, it's the Grand Caravan, RQ29. I remember these things. Well, here's the thing, man, not a single Skoda, right? I don't think a single Skoda made it. Oh, one Skoda. Oh, I remember what it is. RQ41. I think it's 41. Yeah, there it is. The not so superb. But anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's look at the winners, and just the winners. no losers here. So just the winners, the best fast circuit cars. We're gonna start off with the common rarity. So I think we're gonna just go into common. I think an easier way to do this is just do performance and standard. I don't think there are any other brands. So let us begin. As always, I will tell you the winners, their times, and their upgrade patterns. So, starting off with RQ10, the best RQ10 for the fast wet circuit. Congratulations goes to the Alfa Romeo Spider S3. It starts off with a time of 1 minute 31 seconds and 78 centiseconds at 323. All of these cars are going to be 323 unless I say otherwise, okay? Just to make my job a little bit easier and I sound a bit less redundant that way as well. Next one, RQ11 is the GMC Caballero Diablo. Diablo, almost said Diabolo. Diablo, 323 at 1 minute 32 seconds and 5 centiseconds, which means that the RQ10 Alpha is actually better than the GMC Caballero. Now, moving on to RQ12 is the Biposto. Where is the Biposto? I think it's somewhere at the top. Yep, it is the 1500, almost like 1000, but 1500 Biposto at 323. I said that I was not going to say that, but I'm going to say the upgrade tunes anyway. It comes in a time of 1:31:01. So every other car that we see after this should be sub 130s, I think 1 minute 30s. So RQ13, a car that I did not expect to win the fast circuit, but then again didn't have a lot of competition with it, is the Pontiac Firebird. It comes in with a time of 129.70, so it's the fastest car that we have seen so far. Moving on to RQ14, it's the only common that has front wheel drive to be the winner of the wet fast circuit, and that goes to the American Oldsmobile Tornado. So the Tornado right here at 332, by the way, finishes with a time of 128.90. Everything else is going to be like rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. I think it's just rear-wheel drive, honestly. Or maybe one four-wheel drive in there. I don't think there are any four-wheel drives. We're going to take away the front-wheel drives, though, so it makes our job a little bit easier by scrolling through all the cars. Moving on to RQ15. Next winner is another American. It's a Chrysler. The Chrysler Falcon, to be exact. Where are the Lincolns right now? Where is it? There it is. So this has a time of 127.38, and it is better than the best of 16. The best of 16 is a Cadillac, and it is I think we're just past, no, we passed it already. That is a Lotus, right? I keep thinking, there we go, it's a Cyclone. So this is a time of 127.68. Now, moving on to RQ17, another American is an RQ17, Buick Electra. So we're gonna go all the way up to the top. There it goes, the Buick Electra, 323, 126.55. And then moving on to RQ18, surprise, surprise, another classic American car. It is a Chevrolet Tahoe at 323. Again, I'm saying the tunes, even though I said I wouldn't if it was 323. It's 125.78. This is the third best common for the fast circuit wet. Now, moving on to RQ19, this is the best fast circuit wet car in the entire game for commons and below. It is the Volvo 1800 ES. It has a time of 125.17 at 323. Now, moving on to the uncommons, I think I need to get rid of rear-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, because I don't remember what the drive trains are looking like for this. So the only reason why I'm not showing you just the wish list is because I want to show you what loses as well. So moving on to RQ20, we start off with, I believe, the first Mercedes is the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL, which I'm genuinely surprised that it wins the wet fast circuit. I expected this to win the wet test bowl, to be the best for the 1 mile within its RQ. But for the wet fast circuit, considering they're like 7 or 8 turns and this thing doesn't handle very well, I'm actually genuinely surprised that it is the best one that we've seen so far. But yes, at 323, it comes in with a time of 125.10. Moving on to RQ21, I believe this is a car that I don't even own. It's an A class. I don't think I have this car. Okay, I do have it. Okay, cool. I'm trying to be a Mercedes collector too, but again, it is the A180, the diesel. 332, by the way, is the tune that you want to put it in, drag spec. It will come in at a time of 124.80, beating just beating that 300 SL, which is like a car that's like 60 years older than it. Moving on to RQ22, congratulations, we're going back to the US for this one, is the GMC Sprint. So we will be seeing it in a second. I don't own this one, actually. I do love the photo. I do not know why I do not own this. But there is some value in this now. It is the best RQ22 for the fast circuit wet at 323. Comes in at a time of 123.53, and it remains the best car for 23s as well because it beats the best of 23. The best 23 option is a Mazda. It's a Mazda Kabura. It's one of the few Japanese cars that actually made it here. And there you go. It comes in at a time of 123.92, which is slower than the GMC Sprint. Now, moving on to RQ24, we've got ourselves a mom's soccer van, or a soccer mom car. We've got that Pontiac Montana coming up next. So we're at the Peugeots right now. We've got the Nissan Jukes. I think we overshot it if we are at Peugeot. There it is, Montana. Montana 323, 123.30. And then moving on to RQ25, one of my favorite cars from American Overdrive. It is indeed the Buick GS400, which we should be seeing. There are a lot of uncommons in the game, aren't they? If we have to scroll this much just to find one car. We're in the Chevrolets right now. There it is, Buick GS400. At a time of 122.40 and an upgrade pattern of 323. Now, moving on to RQ26. Again, we're staying with Buick. Actually, a decent amount of Buicks. I need to go and check the manufacturers to see how many they bring to the table again. There's the Century 455 at a time of 122.78, once again at 323. Now, moving on to RQ27 is the Chevy Nova, I believe is a 350. So where is that Nova? There it is, the 350 Coupe. It comes in at a time of 122.05. It remains the best when it comes up to the 28, so it beats the best of 28. The best of 28 is a South Korean car with high ground clearance. One of a few that actually have a high ground clearance is the Hyundai Tucson N-Line. So this actually was the best fast circuit wet car for uncommons and below before EGT. But EGT kind of shook things up because they buffed the Dodge Grand Caravan. So since this has been buffed and it got standard tires, it is now the best standard tire car for the fast circuit. It's the best uncommon, sorry. It's the best uncommon for the fast circuit wet. Again, this is all standing, it's not rolling, so for standing. And it comes in at a time of 1:20:35, which makes it 2 seconds faster than every uncommon that came before it. Which is kind of broken. So yeah, the Caravan is very strong. It will remain the best car for the wet fast circuit all the way up to RQ33s, which means that this will beat the best of 30, 31, and 32. So with that said, let's get into that. So moving into the rares here, I do believe that there are no four-wheel drive winners here, so I can just do front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, just to lessen the load of cars we need to scroll through. Starting off is the Mercedes-Benz 500 SL. F323 comes in at a time of 1:20:86. Remember, this still loses to the Grand Caravan, so I'll move through this really quickly. RQ31 goes to another Buick. We're at the Lancias right now. We are at the Fords right now. Chevys. There it is. The Buick Roadmaster wagon comes in at a time of 1:20:83. And then RQ32 goes to a convertible Italian boy. It's the Fiat Barchetta. 323 comes in at a time of 1:20:43. Remember, the Dodge Caravan uncommon is 1:20:35. The next winner that actually beats the Caravan is an RQ33. And the best of RQ33, it is a Chevrolet. It is a Chevrolet Volt Concept, to be precise. So let me look for it right here. It just edges out on that Dodge. It just edges out on the Dodge. It has a time of 1:20:16. Moving on to RQ34, we've got another soccer mom car, another soccer mom van. It's a Chrysler Pacifica. There it is, plug-in hybrid 323 at a time of 1:19:56. This is the first of many sub 1 minute 20 fast circuit wet cars. It remains the best car for 34 and 35, so it beats the best of 35, which is a Lincoln L2K. It's the concept car which came out in Pacifico's Highway, that's right. So that loses to the Pacifica. And then moving on to RQ36, I believe this is the first of the two Chinese cars that we saw, and it's the Buick Riviera. So once again, a lot of Buicks. I need to look if they actually have more cars than Mercedes. It feels like it, doesn't it? The Buick Riviera at the time of 1:19:56 at 323, of course. Moving on to RQ37, it is a Lincoln. There you go. It is the Lincoln Mark 8, I believe, LSC at a time of 1:18:61, and it remains the best for 38 as well. So Lincoln will beat the best of 38, which is a bright red Volvo V70 T5. And last but not least, 39, the best for 39 is the Buick Velite. There you go, the other Chinese car, I think. The Buick Velite 6 EV. This is the time of 1:18:48. And I do believe, yes, it is the best rare fast circuit wet car in the entire game. For rare and below, obviously. So at a time of 1:18:48, no rare will beat this car on a fast circuit wet. So this is one car for you to remember. Dodge Caravan as well as that Volvo 1000 ES. Now, moving on to the super rare category. Now, for the super rares, I'm gonna have to add in four-wheel drive. So that will open things up a little bit more. We start off with a Volkswagen Golf GTD. Comes in at a time of 1:18:13. It remains the best car up till RQ42. So the best of 40 will beat the best of 41, which we saw earlier. It's the not so superb Skoda Superb. The Skoda Superb comes in at a time of 1:18:53. The Golf comes in at a time of 1:18:13. Now, moving on to RQ42, we're going to have a look at the Mitsubishi HSR2. There you go, HSR4, sorry. 323 with a time of 1:17:35. Now, moving on to RQ43, again, it's another Buick. And this one actually remains the best fast circuit wet car all the way up to RQ46. So this remains the best for 43, 44, and 45. So this is a little bit of a bargain for you to use as well if you have it. So it is indeed the Buick Riviera Concept. And this is a time of 1:16.63. It'll beat the best of 44. It will beat the best of 45. The best of 44 is a 4-wheel drive Alpha. It is the Brera Concept, the one that got a massive handling nerf, I believe. It used to be 82 stock, right, on this car. Then the best of 45 is the Peugeot Fractal, which is a car that I'm a huge fan of, actually, in top drives. But it does not beat the Buick Riviera Concept. Riviera Concept was 1:16.63. This is 1:16.68. Now, moving on to RQ46, we've got a Ford FPV Tornado. I do believe this is the Australian one. So RQ46. Again, we gotta scroll all the way through. I wish there was a faster way to look through this. Maybe if I knew what to filter it by. Yeah, the Ford FPV F6 Tornado is up next. 323 1:16.46 is the time. Moving on to RQ47 is a car that I hate. It's the new Beetle. Oh god. 1:16.28 is the time. So it is just getting better and better with the times right now. Moving on to RQ48, another performance tire car. This one with no 4-wheel drive performance as well. This is a rear-wheel drive BMW. I think a lot of you guys may have expected this one to come through because it's got ridiculous MRA. It's a BMW 640D at 1:15.51. This is at 233. So every car that we've seen so far, 323 is the best. Now we're starting to see 233 taking over. So this at 233 is the better option, although it's a wet track set. Last but not least, RQ49 winner goes to the Hyundai Le Firouge. This thing is ridiculous. This is a time of 1:14.23 and at an upgrade pattern of 323. It is the best Super Air for the fast circuit wet. Not only is it the best Super Air for the fast circuit wet, it's also, the best 49 and also a great bargain. It remains the best fast circuit option car until you can use an RQ54, which means that this beats a lot of ultra rares. It will beat the best fast circuit car for RQ50, 51, 52, and 53, which means that the next 4 cars that I'm going to be showing you in the ultra rare category, they're not going to mean a lot. I'll be completely honest with you. They're really not going to mean a lot. We're going to get rid of high as well. So we're going to get into low and medium. That saves us a lot more scrolling as well. Oh, and we should get rid of Super Rare. We should get rid of Super Rare. There we go. That narrows the search. Yes, indeed. Okay. So let us begin. I'll go through these really quickly because these cars don't win by much. Jaguar F-Type, it still loses to the Le Firouge. And then the best one is 233, by the way. I think they're all going to be 233 unless I state otherwise. Now, moving on to RQ51. Ford FPV, GSU, the blue one. Yes, okay, so again, this still loses to the Le Firouge, and then RQ52, congratulations, goes to the Lotus Europa. Now, this one at 323 is the best option. This has 83 MRA, comes in at a time of 1:15.15. And then moving on to RQ53, goes to the other Japanese car. I think there are like 3 Japanese cars, right? So this is one of the 3. The Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4. I didn't wishlist this though, did I? I think I wishlisted another Mitsubishi. And I was wrong. So if we see another Mitsubishi online that's wishlisted, that's not the one, but this is the one for sure. So that's the best fast circuit RQ53 at a time of 1:15.10. Again, it still loses to the Le Firouge, so don't worry about it. And everything else loses to the Le Firouge. Basically, if you want to use a fast circuit car in the wet, and you have RQ53 as what you can use, just use the Le Firouge, basically. Now, moving on to RQ54, the best option is the Maybach 62 Londelay. 332 is the option, 1:14.15, 87 MRA, and yes, it does beat the Le Firouge. Now, moving on to RQ55, we're going to go back to Jag. It's a Jaguar XQR 4.2, the one with, I believe, 90 MRA or something like amazing like that. Yeah, 89 MRA, I'm pretty sure. XQR 4.2S, so that was a time of 1:14.18. So the Maybach actually beats the Jag. So you might as well just use the 54 over the 55. Now, moving on to RQ56. Best of 56 is another Merc. It's the SL55. This is at 233. Time is 1:14.06. Next up is RQ57. It's another Ford. Let's see if we can look for it. There it is. FPV GTP. This is a time of 1:13.88. Has 81 MRA. Moving on to RQ58. I said this was 59 earlier. No, it wasn't 59. It's 58. So 58. The best of 58 goes to the Dodge Challenger RT Scat Pack. And then moving on to RQ59, the best car for RQ59 will remain the best car for the wet fast circuit all the way up till RQ60. 63. So, the next one up here, I think a lot of people would have seen this one coming, though, because this car is amazing. I do not know why that's wishlisted. That is not the one. It is indeed the Holden Fiji. So, the Holden Fiji, also known as the Fiji water car, at 233, has a time of a 1 minute 12:75. This is 103 MRA, by the way. This thing is ridiculous. It is the best 59 for fast circuit wet, and it will beat the best of 60, 61, and 62. So let's go through those really quickly, shall we? So we start off with RQ60, and we do have another from the Mercedes collection. This is the Mercedes CLS 500 at 233. I know it's a standard tire car, but at 233, the best option. It gets a time of 1:12:86. Then at RQ61, we've got a Jag, as Jeremy Clarkson would say. It's the XKR 175. It's a great looking car if I can find it. Oh yeah, that's the one. That was a mistake. I didn't mean to wish this that one. Yeah, there we go. The Jag XKR 175, 233, 11281. Then at RQ62 we have the Spiker C2 Labiolet. Again, remember the Fiji will beat all of those cars. Now, the next car that we're going to look at is the RQ62 Jaguar XKR 175, and this will be the first car to best the Holden Fiji water car. So let's look for the Jag. We're currently at the Mercs. There it is. Jaguar XKR 75. Used to be an Epic. Used to be 64. Now 63. Has a 93 MRA. Has a time of 1:12:15. But is not able to beat the best of 64, which is also the best ultra rare for the wet fast circuit. Can you guess who it is? They are obviously, right? It's the I believe it's the F10 BMW M5 233. Has a time of 1:11:41. This thing has 102 MRA, traction control and ABS as well. Now, moving on to RQ65, we're going to start off with the Epics. And honestly, guys, I'm shocked. I expected the BMW M5 to hit above its weight and beat, a couple of 65s, 66s, 67s. It doesn't. The best of 65 beats the BMW M5, which is very impressive. It's the Buick Wildcat EV, which, to be fair, when it first came into top drives, I think it was like 67 or 66. So it only moved down to 65 recently at 233, and with 83 MRA and 4-wheel drive, it has a time of 1:11:16, which actually makes it faster than the BMW M5. So it is fast, so fast, in fact. This is the best wet fast circuit car, not only for RQ65, but for 66, 67, and 68. Which means that, it will be the best option to use until you can use an RQ69 car. So, what is the Wildcat EV competing against? Well, the next two are Bentleys, so not much, honestly. The best of 66 goes to some 4-wheel drive Continental, if I can find it. It's big and fat. Yeah, there you go. The best of 67 is, just its older brother. It's just that as well. And then moving on to 68. Now, I'm actually genuinely surprised, but the best of 68 is a 911 Speedster 3.8. It's not 4-wheel drive, but it does have 95 MRA, right? But yeah, it actually does lose to the Buick Wildcat. The Wildcat has a time of 1:11:16. This Porsche 911 has a time of 1:11:21. It's a fantastic car for the fast circuit dry. And maybe I should do an episode about fast circuit dry. This might be the best for fast circuit dry. I mean, let's look at the 68s around here. I do think that is the best for maybe the 911 GT3 3.6, honestly. But yeah, those two are really, really good. But anyway, this does lose to the Wildcat. So yeah, even though it's the best of 68. Now, moving on to RQ69, this will be the first car to beat the Wildcat. So the new king of the hill is a Mercedes-Benz Vision 6 Cabriolet. And this will remain the best option to use up till RQ72. So this will beat the best of 70 and 71. The time for this, 1:10:13. So we're in the 110s now. Moving on to the best of RQ70 goes to BMW, and that is a BMW M6. Very beautiful car. Where are you? There it is, the Grand Coupe. It has a time of 1:10:46. The Vision 6 was 1:10:13. Then 71 goes to an Aston Martin. It is going to be the Vanquish Volante. So where is the Vanquish Volante at? Very beautiful photo. There you go. At 233. All these cars, by the way, that even though I'm not talking about the tunes, they're all 233 at this point. 233 at a time of 1:10:78. Moving on to RQ72, the first car to beat the Vision 6 Cabriolet, and it's the Vision 6 Coupe. So at a 233 is a time of 1:09:70, so we're going sub 110 now. Moving on to RQ73, I see why there are a lot of German winners. The entire Epic collection are just the Germans, just Mercedes and BMW going up against each other, right? It's the Yahre edition, right? Or the Yahre edition, I forgot how to pronounce it. It's Yahre, I think. 233, 1:10:31. Now, remember, the Vision 6 Mercedes 72 remains the best until 75. So the Vision does beat the BMW M5 Yahray edition on fast circuit, wet. The Vision 6 Coupe, that is. And then moving on to RQ74, which the Vision 6 also beats, is going to be the Lamborghini Diablo VT Roadster. This has a time of 109.70. So it ties. So this ties with the Vision. But I said that the Vision was the better car because it's cheaper to use. Now, moving on to RQ75, one of the few Audis that are at the pinnacle of their, representation, I guess, like at the top. And that's going to go to the Audi RS6 Avant C6. This is a time of 109.60. So it actually is the fastest car that we've seen so far on the list with a time of with a time of 109.60 at the upgrade pattern of 233. Now, moving on to RQ76, again, another German car. Yeah, they're all German in the epic ranks, isn't it? Mercedes AMG GTS. Again, 233 with a time of 109.78. Now, moving on to RQ77. The best of RQ77 is an Italian, not a German. And it is indeed the Lamborghini Diablo. We should be seeing it soon. Yep, Diablo VT. This has a time of 108.53. And at a 233 tune. Now, just to let you guys know, this is going to be the best epic for the fast circuit wet. Not only is it the best epic for the fast circuit wet, it's the best one that we've seen so far, and it will also be able to beat legendaries. So yeah, the RQ80s don't go for much really. This is the best one. So it'll beat every single epic on a fast circuit wet. So congratulations to the Lamborghini Diablo VT. You're up there with the BMW M5 and Dodge Grand Caravan. And what's the best of the super rare? Hyundai Lefty Rouge, and the best of rare. Best of rare, fast circuit wet. Come on, man, I'm making this video and I can't even remember it. Oh, the Buick Velite, yeah, something like that. Moving on to RQ78, the best of 78. Congratulations goes to the Audi R8 rear-wheel drive prize car. So it should be all the way at the top over here. There you go. So this is a time of 109.40. And last but not least, RQ79, the best of a 79 is the Porsche Taycan GTS, which is, I do believe, the second best epic for the fast circuit, only losing to that Lamborghini. Lamborghini 108.53, Porsche Taycan at 233 is a time of 108.76. Now, moving on to RQ legendary RQ, that's what I wanted to say. This is the one that has the one all-surface tire car. So I don't know how I'm going to be. There's no front wheel drives here. Just get rid of that. This is rear drive, four drive performance. I don't think there are any standards. There's one standard. It's Cadillac 16. That's the only standard. So RQ80, right? We've got a four-way tie. We have the Pagani Zonda S, the Pagani Zonda Roadster, the Maserati Birdcage, as well as the Audi RS6 Avant. So all four of those legendaries, they all tie at 233 with a time of 108.80. So they all tie for the best of RQ80, and they all also lose to the Lamborghini Diablo, the RQ77. So these cars are so worthless. You'll be maxing these out, and they ain't gonna be beating the epic. And honestly, nothing here. These four legends that I highlighted, they're the best. Which means that everything else that you see here will still lose to that Lamborghini, right? Bentley's gonna lose to the Lamborghini, Audi's gonna lose to the Lamborghini, the TT's gonna lose to the Lamborghini. All of these will lose to the Lamborghini. Everything here will lose to that RQ77. So yeah, that's a very dismal showing by the RQ80s over there. Best of 81 Mercedes CLK GTR. I mean, this one honestly for it has traction ABS. I forgot about that. Because I've not read enough of those meme descriptions of the CLK GTR. 233 has a time of 108.50. So yes, it will beat the Lamborghini Diablo that has a time of Diablo VT 108.53. This is a time of 108.50. So it beats Lamborghini Diablo by like 0.003, something like that. Moving on to RQ82. This is actually a brand new EGT car. So congratulations. I think it's the only EGT car, I'm pretty sure, that wins something. It's the Audi RS e-tron at 233 has a time of 107.90. Moving on to RQ83, it's going to be the Zonda Bacani Butt. There it is, the Roadster F. That's a time of 108.33 at 233. Then moving on to RQ84, we have the Cadillac 16. This is the final standard tire car that you will see right here. This is a time of 107.33. So we can finally get rid of the center tire tag. I mean, I'm just gonna show. I should show you everything. I can show you everything. Yeah, I'll show you everything. So let's get rid of this, get rid of that. Blah 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 blah. Legendaries, and then we go status, and then we go wish list. Which is there you go. So here are all your winners, right? So you got the 16, the best of 85 is the Continental Super Sport, best of 86 is the F-Type SVR, best of 87 BMW M5, and you guys can kind of look it up. You know, all the German cars that you see over here, right? The Taycan. I'll tell you the times. Sorry, I totally forgot. I was like speed throwing it. I forgot to tell you the times. So Cadillac 16, 107.33, and this will beat the Bentley. The Bentley is 107.51. And then the Cadillac also beats the Jaguar, because the Jaguar is 107.83. Then moving on to the BMW, which will beat the Cadillac, this is a time of 107.16. Taycan, 107.03. G80 has a time of 106.80, so now we're going sub 107. Audi R8, this has a time of, this is 91. Oh, I missed 90. I'm sorry, I'll add 90 in a bit. So this is 106.55. And then the best of RQ90 is the Peugeot Oxia, by the way. Best of 92 is the M5 CS, that's 106.33. Best of 93 is 105.81, the Huracan Coupe. EXP is the best of 94, and this will remain the best all the way up to the Bugatti Chiron. So this with a time of 104.19 will be beating the Veyron, the Aventador, and every other 95 and 96. So the Bentley EXP is going to be the best all the way up to the Bugatti Chiron. So the Chiron at 233 has a time of 103.48, followed by the Chiron Sport at a time of 103.28. And then this is your only all-surface tire car. It's a Porsche Cayenne Turbo, so if anyone guesses at the start, congratulations are in order for you. Honestly, the time on this isn't even good. It's 106.61. I guess 99 just didn't bring a lot of cars that were good at the fast circuit. Then we have the Lotus Evija. Now, the Lotus Evija at 323, not even 233, but at 323 for crying out loud, has a time of 102.46. And this is the best car in the game for the wet fast circuit. There is nothing that beats the Lotus Evija. This is a time of 102.46. There is no car that can get a sub 1 minute on the fast circuit, not yet at least. But the Lotus Evija, yeah, congratulations, it will beat everything here. So it beats the Devo, the Rimac Concept S, the Koenigsegg Gemera, Aurora, Ottobimbili Pininfarina, and Rimac Nevera, which I just think is absolutely freaking absurd that the Evija is gonna beat, you know, the likes of a Koenigsegg Gemera HV8 for crying out. Like, okay, man, something is wrong here. But it is what it is. As we stand right now, this is the best wet fast circuit car in top drives. Now, let's give that Peugeot some love, right? Because I forgot to put it on the wish list and it deserves it. So let's put you back in there. There you go, RQ90. That's the best one right there. It's the Peugeot Oxia. So let's have a look at the summary one more time, right? Because I want to look at it added by updates. Was that Audi e-tron the only one? So wish listed, collections and tags. There were 2 EGT cars that made it to the best of the wet fast circuit, so they get 2 medals, I guess. American Overdrive, which people say, you know, is as bad of an update as EGT, because I always complain that EGT is bad, but and then they're just like, oh no, but you know, American Overdrive, everything was a pickup truck. Well, they got 14 winners, so shut up. ENW had 6. APGB had 5, World Expo at 28. That's a big amount, man. And yeah, the other thing with Buick, how many cars did Buick bring to the table? Because it felt like it was a lot. Yeah, Buick brought 8. Okay, so Mercedes still wins. Mercedes still wins. Okay, cool. What was the 2? e-tron and? Fractal. Yeah, okay, Fractal. And let's see the winners of American Overdrive. I think this is mostly the commons though, right? Yeah, so it was a Wildcat and like a Super Rare, and most of it was the low end. Yeah, so it was the low end that kind of carried on that regard with their fast cars. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, let's go to wishlist just in total. So here you go. This is every single, oh no, they're gone now. This is every single car that is the best for the wet fast circuit. So once again, shout out to Mackenzie for requesting that I do this one. I think it's a really great idea as well. A very diverse cast, isn't it? There's a little bit of medium, a little bit of low, a little bit of four-wheel drive, a little bit of front-wheel drive, a little bit of rear-wheel drive, performance, standard. There's like one all-surface tire car as well. But just remember, man, like, just remember what are the best of the best. What are the bargains, right? The Afiji, the M5, the Diablo VT, you know, the Lotus Evija if you have that. If you don't have the Lotus Evija, another great bargain would be the Cadillac 16 is a decent one, beats a couple cars above its weight. What else beats above its weight? The EXP beats above its weight as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, those are all your winners for the wet fast circuit. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a great day. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville.
Pontiac.